pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, are we in a hurry tonight? Because that's like the fastest pledge I've ever.
Do you have any other issues with or any concerns with the chief's monthly report?
No, but I did, in the back, I had done a thing for the rational Berlin police vehicle fleet rotation replacement that I was all prepared for last week.
Yeah.
To present at the finance board if it came up. So I changed the header, put another cover page on it, and it said, hold on to this for next time.
There you go.
Because I'm sure that that's not a one-off for the cars, and, you know.
I think that we have serious concerns that this is going to continue.
Yes.
And
It was
I
actually
think
brought
that,
up this
and I
morning.
think the way we ended that meeting was not good for us. I appreciate you guys showing up, and no disrespect to the chairman, but the way we ended that, I think, was bad. Because what happened was, they said, we'll approve this funding as long as you ensure it's for patrol cars only. And then you said, I will make sure that's what happens. So basically what you did was affirm their ability to dictate to us what we do with our funding. I'm sure that wasn't your intent to do that. But what I would like to have had happen to say something like, it's the finance board's job to approve the funding. It's the police commission's job to approve what we do with that money.
And that's basically what I did. I was saying those cars need to go to patrol.
Yes, but
Because of the
before
work
that,
times.
they said, we'll approve it as long as you tell us they're for patrol cars. So if we said, no, they're not all for patrol cars, would they have withdrawn funding?
Yeah, but did they say that night?
Yes, they did.
Okay, well, there was also a conversation that happened on the town council level, I think the week before, where you, chief, you addressed that matter. And I think you gave a similar, you gave similar assurances that it was gonna be used for patrol. So, I mean, I
Well,
think.
those specific cars, yes.
Yeah, I would
Well, and
disagree with the care.
That's really what it comes down to. Sure. Go to patrol. They're going to-
You know, I mean, I think that I don't think that's a fair characterization of what the chairman did. And, you know, the one thing that sometimes the concern that comes up is, this is the argument that goes back and forth with the Board of Ed. It's like, we're the Board of Ed, we're the one who spend the money, the town appropriates it. Yeah, but the town has to have confidence that the money's gonna be used in a way that, you know, and that there's enough transparency where there's confidence that the Board of Ed's gonna use the money in a fair way. And I think that was the point that you were trying to make.
Bottom line is that's where they're going.
You know, it's all about, we want to be transparent, and the assurances are because that's what we want. You know, it's not because they're not going to give us the money. It has nothing to do with it. It's because that's what we want.
The appropriate thing to do is if there's going to be a redirection of vehicles needed for other uses, then you have that discussion and then the chair makes that presentation to the town council and to the finance board so they clearly understand that. Because they're willing to listen to the chair, that's fine. Let's do it that way. But right now, those 5 cars are going to patrol.
We're
Commissioner, you're not.
aware of that.
Having not been able to be there because of previous commitments, I worry when Board of Finance starts dictating to commissions and boards, because their job is to allocate, our job is to determine appropriate spending. So I just want to voice my concern with the Board of Finance
That's fine, that's recognized.
dictating how we spend
And
the
that's a
money.
concern. That is a concern. Everyone should be aware of that concern.
It was
Excuse me,
enough of a, it was
Oh,
enough.
sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead. I'm sorry. to interrupt.
No, but I just want to acknowledge that, you know, I mean, I having not been there, I would worry in giving too much room for them to tell us how to spend the money. We were elected into these positions to decide what was the best for the police department. And they were elected in their positions to determine how best to distribute the funds, not how we get to spend them. So I just want to be mindful of that, and we can hear their assurances, but we also got to bring it back, because I don't know if Ryan was there, I know I wasn't there, but like giving assurances with part of the commission there. I know you guys are the majority, but I feel like giving them the assurances kind of also leaves some of us out of the discussion. And part of the thing that we've come forward with is this was going to be a consensus building group, right? I know we're not always gonna see eye to eye, but we wanna have that consensus building and
That's
have
fine.
those discussions.
So we
So
can
I
have
just
that
wanna-
discussion in the future, and then in the future,
Thank
you
you.
and Ryan could be there to.
Well,
let
that's-
you have 5 commissioners sitting in front of the Board of Finance, and
Understood.
then we can all speak their piece, and I give you credit for your concerns.
And we are all volunteers, so let's,
I get that.
be mindful that
And,
we're all doing the best we can.
and, everything you're saying is true. We are the board that manages and controls the police department. I think that the intent was to give assurances to the folks that are appropriating the money, that we believe that this money should be used for patrol, and that we think that's an appropriate, way to spend that money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with how the chairman presented it. But you're right in that sense. The only thing I'll also say is that I've been on this commission for a year now, and I don't see in any way that there's any partisan gamesmanship or anything like that. I think that Republicans and Democrats, we all work very well together. And I have not seen any evidence that the Republicans have any way blocked the Democrats or have not invited them into a process. I will tell you, there's been plenty of times in which the three of us have been at meetings, and we're all busy, but sometimes we don't see you and Brian there. But that's not, sometimes people are busy. We can understand that. But when we're there, we're gonna, do what we think we have to do. But we want you there. We want you there very much so.
All right, let's move on to, we're gonna move on to the investigation division. Lieutenant Solik, senior president, would you like to comment?
Secondly, can we speak about the vehicle mileage? That's a part of Lieutenant Job's purview, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a few pages back. Just, not to belabor the point, but for, a topic of discussion for another day later in the year. We should consider, replacing some of these admin cars for the detectives. I just want to accentuate for the record, we have one car that's a 2011, which, I can't do the math in my head, 2011, that's over 15 years. It's 15 years old, and that's a detective who responds to calls. You have another one that's 2014 with 70,000, and although the mileage is low, the years of service are high. And then you have 3 other ones, a 16, a 13, and a 20 with 106, 107, and 107,000. Those are pretty high for detectives that,
So how we normally replace those cars is admin stuff. The admin cars get replaced and that gives them newer cars. But this is
Understood.
exactly
Understood.
what I was
Got it.
trying to say.
I got you. Topic for another discussion, but I think, in preparation for the budget for next year, we come up with, a robust plan that we all agree with together, and we could present that to, the powers that be with, BOF or town council.